Welcome! Couple of vinyl record pickups to show you today. Both I'm really excited about, and one of them has come really quick. As of me recording this video, I only ordered it yesterday, didn't pay any extra for faster postage, but they just must have sent it out pretty much instantly, and luckily it came kind of 24 hours or so later. But let me get going with this first one that I bought towards the end of last week. I'd seen it on eBay for quite a while. I just wasn't prepared to pay the money, but I'd had a little bit of a refund into my bank account for certain things recently, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to this because it's a hole in a collection that I've not neglected, but I'd kind of got a lot in a while ago, and then everything else that I need, just a handful of other albums of theirs, are like deleted now and really expensive. And who I'm talking about is Saint Etienne. Finally got another Saint Etienne album into the collection. It's been a while since you've seen any Saint Etienne on this channel, but this one is the Misadventures of Saint Etienne. And this edition, I think, was a fan club reissue, as a lot of their old compilations and things, they tend to get reissued in limited quantities. Well, I said via the fan club, but now it's just generally sort of like they'll announce it on social media and on the website, and then there'll be a short period, normally a month or two before Christmas, where you can pre-order. But this one, I mean, I wasn't collecting Saint Etienne back when this would have come out, probably 2019 I think, and it was limited. This is actually a brand new copy, which I was very pleased about. The seller did send a protective sleeve there. I've got plenty of those myself, but always nice to get another one. But as you can see, this is still new and sealed here. It's got a nice limited black vinyl edition hype sticker on. This also came out in white vinyl at the same time, but that edition is even more rarer than this one. I've not actually seen that for under something stupid like £70 on Discogs. How much did this cost me? Ugh. More than what I like to pay normally. This was £50, which for a single album, it's a lot. But I had wanted this for a long time, ever since I was collecting Saint Etienne, and I was determined to get as many of their albums as I could. This was one that has felt like a gaping hole in the collection for months and months now. I won't unseal it, it's just a black disc, but I'll talk a little bit more about the album itself. I think originally it came out in 1999. It's actually a soundtrack album. It was the soundtrack to a film, I think it was like an independent American-French production called The Misadventures of Margaret, I think. If I've got that wrong, I'll have to correct myself with an annotation on screen. Misadventures of Margaret, late 90s film. Saint Etienne did the music for it, and the soundtrack album originally came out, I think, on Saint Etienne's little own boutique label in 1999. And then 20 years later, it eventually got a reissue, but even the reissue, what I've got, is pretty pricey. Really delighted to get that, and it's been a while since I've got any Saint Etienne, as like I said, with things like the Misadventures and the other ones that I need, and I'll talk about those in a sec. Now that I've got all the normal albums and the other fan club or exclusive stuff that wasn't too bad a price, everything else is pretty expensive. So other Saint Etienne albums that I still want, there's a really old compilation. In fact, I think it came out maybe after their second studio album, So Tough, and it's You Need a Mess of Help to Stand Alone. And now I've seen that around, and it's not been too bad a price. I think I've seen it once or twice on eBay. I've seen it on Discogs for fairly reasonable, what, sort of between £20 to £30, and I've seen it at the Yahoo auctions in Japan as well. I may end up getting that. I'm not in a massive rush because I've got a feeling that album, I've got all the songs or most of the tracks on it on newer compilations, but I probably still want it at some point just to say, yeah, I've got that album, I'm a completionist. So I'll probably end up picking that up before too long, but I might just shop around for a little bit longer, see if I can get it as cheap as possible. And the other couple of albums for Saint Etienne, and then if I get those, it will be more or less a full collection for them, is Casino Classics, which was a remix album that came out originally in 1996, and it did have a reissue, I think, in around 2002, 2003. I wouldn't mind which edition I got, the original or the reissue, but they're both pretty expensive, as you would expect. And also there's another compilation, I Love to Paint. This was like another fan club thing that was reissued, I think 2017. And the cheapest I've seen that is from some international seller on Discogs, and it's like over £50. So I will get all these eventually. It's just I'm taking my time, which a lot of people who know me, I got a lot of people coming to me, especially regarding Funko Pop, saying, oh, when you start a collection, you don't half finish it quick. And it's true in a lot of respects, but for certain music artists, I do have to take my time, because I just don't want to be paying over the odds for what is essentially something that, when it was brand new, it wouldn't have cost that much, really. You know, I don't mind paying a premium and paying flipper money, if you will, occasionally, like I have done with Misadventures here, but I don't like to do that very often if I can help it. Right, one more album to show you. This was the one that I only ordered like a day ago, and it's already come, and I never expected it to be so quick. If you cast your mind back a few days to my 2-pack Shakur Best Of Records unboxing, mail opening, I said that I'd made another order for another record on hiphop.com, a great new site that specialises obviously in hip-hop, rap, bit of UK grime, probably a little bit of soul as well. They were doing like a 20% off code, like a sort of essential hip-hop flash sale sort of thing. And I looked to see if there was any albums that interested me, and there was one for a collection. There again, another artist I've not collected anything in for a little while, but really excited to have got this album into my collection finally. And this is the Notorious B.I.G.'s Born Again. So I have collected Biggie's albums that he released while he was alive, which was Ready to Die and Life After Death. I've also got a unusual promo 12-inch single from the Notorious B.I.G. as well. But this was an album that it has caught my eye, and I've been tempted, and I've nearly pulled the trigger on it for a long time now. But because technically this is like his first posthumous album, this would have originally came out, I think, 1999? Yeah, 1999. And then this reissue edition is copyrighted 2017. But this is technically a posthumous album. I don't tend to collect the posthumous releases for acts like Biggie and Tupac. But it's a studio album. It is one that I am familiar with some of the tracks on here, like the single Notorious B.I.G., which samples Notorious by Duran Duran. I remember that single coming out. I'm glad I got this. So this was listed at hiphop.com for £25, but with 20% off, it was £20 and then another £3.95 in postage. That's about as cheap as I've ever seen a brand new edition of this. There again, I won't get it open for you because there's nothing much to see. It's not gatefold by the look of it, and it is just standard black discs in here as well. I think it's yes, it is a 2 LP set. Nice little golden hype sticker on it here. So something else for the Notorious B.I.G. collection. Lovely stuff. And with a saving of £5, you know, it might not be a fortune, but it makes these purchases a little bit easier to bear. And the fact this came so quick, so massive props to hiphop.com, Universal Music, the parent company, for sending that out just so quick. I never expected it within a day, really. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this look at 2 really nice albums. One in particular, Saint Etienne one. I've been wanting that for a long time. And Biggie as well, Born Again, to be fair. It has been tempting me for a long time, but I just kept changing my mind about it. But I've got it now, and I'm happy that I have. Special thanks go to those of you who are my subscribers and my wonderful, generous patrons. All my usual links, such as Patreon and my Facebook group, are down in the description text box. There's also a link for Contents Insurance at Urban Jungle, where if I refer you, then you get some money off, I get some money off. So if you've got a big record collection, or a collection of any sort that is worth quite a lot of money, you can insure for quite a small amount per month, and it's a very sensible thing to do, believe me. I'm going to go now, and which shall I listen to first? Saint Etienne or Notorious B.I.G.? Let me know in the comments which you would choose first. And hopefully by the time this video comes out, I won't have listened to either of these yet, because I have got a bit of a backlog with vinyl records and albums at the moment. There's still some that I showed on this channel in previous videos that I've not got round to listening to yet, so I'm building up a nice little backlog of things to listen to. But of course, as I do with all my records in my collection, I will get round to listening to them sooner rather than later, and therefore I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next music collecting and record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!